Welcome. My name is Obedaku. Welcome. Today I want to share with you how to manage your rental property in Ghana. How to manage your rental property in Ghana. I'm saying this assuming that you've been able to go through the construction period with all your problems with the masons, with the carpenters, with everybody, painters, tilers, everybody in between, maybe your foreman, all the things that they told you, the frustration, the pain. So now your house is ready and you want to give it out, for somebody to stay in for a fee. Or maybe you went to a developer, you bought the house, and then all the other things that you found out later and all that. So please share this channel with your friends and family, with those who will be interested in hearing things like that. So there are a few things that you can do, and if you do them well, you'll be able to rent your house and be able to make some money and maybe reduce the problems that come with renting your property. If you have one unit, one family unit, or maybe you have multiple, you have maybe 10 or 20, maybe you have a whole apartment with different units, whatever that you have, or even if it's one family, what we call self-compound, maybe 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, or 5-bedroom house. If you're going to do this as a business, if you're going to do this as an investment, then you must learn this thing very well. If you just are doing it because you really don't need the money, you just need somebody to occupy it, maybe this one is not for you. But if you want to do it as an investment, then you have to package it well. What it means is that you may not be able to do everything yourself, so you would have to have somebody, maybe a caretaker, sometimes what they call manager, to help you with some of the activities, depending on your schedule and depending on the number of units that you have. So let's assume that you have a whole apartment with 5 or 6 or 10 or maybe even 100 different family units that you have to manage. I would say that as much as you can, get into the kind of people who would rent. It's very important. You can reduce the troubles and the challenges when you are involved with the kind of people who are renting your house. Is it a single boy or a young lady? Is it a family man? What is their profession? It's very much important, because a lot of the troubles that you will come up, if the person is a good person, and we are also assuming that you're a good person, then you can easily sort out a lot of the issues, even if it's complex. The other thing is that you have to also understand where you are pegging the rent. If it's 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, majority of the people, especially in Accra, maybe in Kumasi, you are looking at, if it's not so much an expensive area, apart from the cantonments and East Legon kind of area, the rest maybe between 500 to 1,005 Ghana cedis a month, depending on your finishing, depending on some other things. But largely in this bracket, most people can afford. The moment you go into the 5,000 Ghana cedis a month, 10,000 Ghana cedis a month, you cut a lot of people. So you would, if you are taking this as a business, you would want to look at the range that majority of the people can afford, because then when somebody moves, it doesn't take much time for another person to come in. Or when you finish, you'll be able to let the property out that easily. So look for good people, good people. Check their background. It's very much important. Check their background as much as you can. We have some factors that we use. Some of them I can tell you, but you have to know which category of professionals are very good with paying, and which ones are not good with pay. With pay. Who are those who would easily take little issue to court or to the rent control? There are some professionals who believe that they have they have the power in the country. So if you're renting, you have to be very sure people you're renting to, so that you don't get so much unnecessary. Because what you're doing is that you are just offering a service, and you are helping the community, by giving a place for somebody to sleep at a fee. it takes a lot of money to build a house. It takes so much money to build a house. And so when you are renting a house, it's nowhere close to when you're building one. It's so much there, the money involved are so much different. And therefore you don't want to rent a house and let another person come in and continue to fight you. So be a good manager also. You have to upgrade your communication skills, or the person who will take care for you must be very good with people and how they talk to them and how they give feedback, how they're able to ask them relevant questions, how they're able to return calls if there is any call, how they're able to it's good when you give very good customer service on your property. Treat it as a business. It's very, very much important. There should be respect, there should be that openness, and there should be that professionalism. It's very much important. If they see that you are very organized and you are very thoughtful and you care about their comfort, a lot of them, not everybody, a lot of them will take good care of the property, and a lot of them will have good relationship with you. And make sure that your caretaker is a bit technical. At least you should be able to understand some few things around the house, like the piping, maybe when there is a water issue, or some water issues, or some electrical problems, or maybe some door. They should be able to do some of those things without necessarily calling for outside people to come and do them at a fee, which means you have to have somebody that you can, even if it's not full-time, you put them a little on some basic salary, and when they do these other things, it's so likely that it will take care of the eventual money, that the money that you would spend in a year by calling outsiders, and you not having time to also manage it. So have somebody you can train, or who you trust, who will not tell you a lot of stories, and make sure you communicate with them that well. The other thing is that how much of the rent are you taking? Are you taking a month? Are you taking 6 months? Are you taking 1 year? Are you taking, I think that in as much as you have spent money, be considerate, because it's tough for people to, you are charging somebody 1,000 cedis a month, and you're taking 2 years. That's a lot of money. So even though the natural, feel will be you want to take a lot of the money upfront, but as much as you can. If they are good people, take maybe 6 months or 1 year. It helps. It reduces the burden on people, because most people would want a good, nice place to sleep, and to stay. But if the rent is so high, very few people will be able to stay there without thinking of moving out that quickly. Because when the rent is high, even if you get good people, they're also thinking, they're always asking around, or maybe I can pay 500 for this instead of 1,000, or maybe I can pay 300 for this instead of. So make sure that you don't charge too much, so that people become very much disturbed. Every month they are looking because the money is not that easy. Raising 12,000 or raising 24,000 is a lot of money. Or maybe you are in the lowest category. You should also know the kind of people that you are building for, or your property is for. Is it the people that is between maybe 50 Ghana cedis to 200 Ghana cedis, or is it between the 200 Ghana cedis to 500 Ghana cedis, or between 500 Ghana cedis to 1,000 or 1,500? Which category are you building? And once you're able to situate your property well, especially if you're building it, if you're charging something around 1,500 and it's very far from the city, it's likely that you will struggle to let those out, because the farther you go, the less you can charge if it's let's say apartment. And so it's very convenient for a lot of people when the place that you have you have the property is high traffic area. What I mean is that is mainly in the middle of the city, or not so much far from where they can get car easily, because if you're not able to get this right, you probably will struggle trying to rent the property, because there are some places that you can't charge those kind of quantities. And your charge must also maybe finishing is very important, because if you so much spend on the finishing and you're not going to live there, there's not much that you can take in terms of rent, unless maybe it's Legon and those areas. But even that, how many people will be in that category? And the other thing is that let them know when, let's say, you take 6 months or 1 year, 2 months, 1 month to the time. Let them know that let them express, let them tell you if they are going to renew or they want to move. And when you put the for rent there, as much as you can, put your number there, and be no matter how much time that you don't have, put your number there, talk to them, get to know the kind of people who are calling on the property. Don't just let everybody, don't just stay out no matter how busy you are. Get involved. It's very good. It can also be a very good way to build a network with people, because when they talk to you before they rent, you already have some relationship with them, and people are very much friendly. And especially if they talk to you and they know that you are the one who own, if you own the property, they are very much comfortable. A lot of people would want to cut their agents because they charge, the agents charge, and then they charge the people who are coming to rent as well. So if they can get to you directly, they know that they are not paying agent fee, especially if they came to you directly. If they don't come to you directly and the agents come, you must always negotiate with agents. When they tell you it's 5% or 10%, negotiate down. It's because they are going to take some from you, and they are going to take some from the person who is coming to take the house. So don't make yourself so much distant, and every now and then, if you can, visit the property or let them give you some update as to how they are handling the place, especially people who are a bit careless. There are some people who will not stay in the house because they're always on the road, especially business people, high productive people. If they rent your place, they don't even have time to stay. Some of them, even the home they have not been there because they are traveling or they are doing business. There are others who stay at home and they are pounding for food, they are fighting, they have time to fight tenants and things like that. As much as you can, those kind of people, if you're positioning your properties well, you should be able to reduce people who are just at home and always fighting with other tenants. So my name is Sobedako. I'm talking about how you can manage your properties, because I think it's one of the things that we all must do, especially if you have a property and you have left it there for 3 years, nobody has lived in. Maybe you can find a way of making them single room